What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Lured Up, episode 30.
Woohoo!
I'm one of your hosts, Ken Pescatore, joined by my two faithful co-hosts, Melissa Pescatore and Adam Tuttle. What's going on, y'alls?
Well, I don't know how faithful I am.
You are faithful.
No, I am.
Today is Sunday, May 6th, 2018. This has been an interesting week in the world of Pokemon Go.
It's always interesting.
I know.
Always.
Stuff.
But this week particularly, there's been some it's interesting. It's interesting. Look.
But is it interesting, Ken?
Look, there's some interesting stuff about interesting things.
Ooh, I'm
Which
interested.
is really interesting.
Are you
if you think
interested?
about
I'm
it.
interested.
No, really, though. There's a bunch of stuff to talk about. We'll get to that in a second. Melissa's taking her coffee all over the computer desk. Did you really just do that? On today's show, we are going to talk about the Battle Showdown event that's going on right now. Adventure Week is coming back. So we think inappropriate speculation time. We have some good PokéScience on item drops at gyms, and I think this is kind of relevant right now because of the Battle Showdown event.
Yes,
and,
for science.
Yes, lots of science going on. And the Silph Road has a new heir to the throne, which we'll talk about. And we're going to have our weekly EX-Ray discussion. I got a good story to cover. I actually brought it up last week and I never fleshed out the conversation. So we'll talk about some cool EX stuff. I do want to touch on a tweet that I sent to Reversal. We're gonna have to hold Melissa down really on this one, but I do want to get everyone's opinion on this. And then finally, for our Battle Party segment, we're going to talk about Hitmonlee, who is part of the Battle Showdown, the fighting type event, Raid Boss Shakeup. So, Battle Showdown event, May 1st to May 14th. Like, it's just event after event after event.
Oh, I'm cool with that.
Right? I mean,
It makes the mundane fun.
You would think with the events that they had in the past, like a year ago, okay, this is a grass event, this is a fire event, whatever it is, ice event, and you would get the increased spawns and maybe one other little thing. Now, when we get an event, we get a full lineup of things that are going on in the game. Now, check this out. I'm going to have to take a deep breath here. This is everything that's part of the Battle Showdown event. Listen to this.
Breathe in.
Increased fighting type spawns.
Yes.
That's great for Machop. We're going to get Machop, but they said specifically like Machop and Makuhita. Double XP for gym battles and raid battles. This is huge. This goes through the 14th, so on the 8th, we're going to have Latias rotating, which means there's going to be tons of people out there raiding. So this is going to be a huge opportunity for you to get with a group and make some serious XP, because you're going to have quadruple XP on raids with the Lucky Egg. So that's going to be big. You're also guaranteed 3,000 Stardust just for participating. That's normally 500. And if you do win the raid, you're going to get a minimum of 1 rare candy. Now, I did a level 1 raid the other day and got 7 rare candy.
That's
What?
awesome.
Yes, so and then I did a Latios the other day and got one lone rare candy. So it's all over the place.
This
But now
one-
you get 1 guaranteed. So even if you knock out a bunch of like low level ones, you can at least know that you're going to get at least one piece of rare candy from it.
This one I like just because I enjoy getting rare candy, because especially from level 1 raids where you're like, you got to do it quick before you go to work or something.
Mm-hmm.
2 times gym badge multiplier. This is a big one. We talked about this last week. I think Atari Alex had actually written in and was talking about different gym badges and our levels, and we talked about how many gold badges we had. During this event, we're going to get double bonus for gym multiplier. So this is a great opportunity. If you do a raid, normally you get 1,000 points. You're getting 2,000 points to boost that level of that gym badge. I would recommend everyone just gets out there and does raids, especially those level 1s, those tier 1s, because you're still getting the full 1,000 points towards the badge, plus the multiplier, so you're going to get 2,000 even if you do, level 1.
That's awesome.
Gyms will be rewarding more items. This is
my goodness.
biggie. This is a biggie, because a lot of people are starved for items. A lot of people are... I've been in a drought for Pokeballs for probably the last 2 months. I cannot keep Pokeballs in my inventory.
Because of these events.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, you're just catching like a madman. Although Adam told me he had 500-something Pokeballs the other day.
What?
Yeah, no, this gym thing has been, insane. I made sure I hit every single gym on the way home, to and from work, and I made sure that I took down a gym for my 7th-day streak and got 60 items.
Yeah,
Whoa, that's crazy.
So when we talk about the science of the gym stops, or the gym spins and everything, we'll talk about how you can really take advantage of it, and it's almost like its own little meta with maximizing the return that you're going to get from spins. So we'll go in depth on that. But we're still going on the Battle Showdown event. Tyrogue, more frequent in eggs. This is for a lot of people. Hitmonchan, Hitmonlee are holdout Pokemon. So this is an opportunity for them to, finally get their hands on them. I'm on a little bit of a hiatus from eggs right now. I spent, a lot of money on boxes over the past couple events, and I'm just taking it easy. My outside of the regionals, my Gen 1, 2, and 3 Pokedex is complete. I don't need anyone. I don't need anything to evolve. So I'm chilling out on incubators right now. So I don't care about Tyrogue being in, more frequent in eggs because I'm not hatching anything. I'm just using my unlimited incubator, for 2 and 5s, and I still had some leftover super incubators.
What level egg is he hatching from?
Tyrogue comes from 5s, I think, right? New sale boxes are in the store. They're not as good as the Kanto event ones, but they're still pretty solid. Discounts ranging between 52 to 60%. This time around, the best deal is in the most inexpensive box. Now, it's usually the opposite. Usually you have to, buy the one that's $1,480 to get that 60% discount. This time around, you're going to get the best deal on the cheaper box, the one that's 480 coins, great box, which is pretty cool. Super incubators, they added this after the fact. Super incubators are now available as a standalone, 200 Pokecoins. I
got one.
But I hate, that's full price to me.
I don't care.
That's full price to me because if a regular incubator is 150, the super incubator at 200, that's a fair price, but it's full price.
But you just can't ever buy them. So you buy them.
Yeah, so it's worth it.
Yeah.
But if they were to put them in a box, you wouldn't be paying 200 each. Like when they were included in the Ultra box last time around, or doing Kanto, you're not paying the way it would break out. You might only be paying 90 or 100 for one of them because of the way everything was stacked up and discounted. 200 is cool because you can get your hands on them, but I think
this should be a permanent stay.
Agreed.
I originally thought that too, and then I was like, it does make it kind of special when they do come around because then you're like, ooh, it's an opportunity for me to hatch eggs now. I think it, from a buyer's perspective, from Niantic's perspective, they say, hey, if we trickle these things in, we can, kind of guarantee that people are going to buy them. Because they're not going to
Yeah, of course they're going to use it as a cash cow.
Nope.
Cash cow. Milk it.
Wow. the internet already is going to town.
They won't just give it to us.
I hate when people frickin' say anything about cash cow or money grab. It's the biggest line of bullshit I've ever heard when it comes to a business, and especially a free freaking game with microtransactions. It's like,
but
of course, a fucking business.
Come on.
Yeah, they're just making money, and they're doing a good job at it.
Yeah,
end of story.
Yeah.
Dude, it's insane that they're still hanging at the top end of, grossing games and stuff. It's wild, the staying power so far. People still play Pokemon Go?
No, not me.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure. And then, finally, Shiny Meditite and Shiny Makuhita were added to the game.
Which I'm never going to get.
Melissa, do you have either of those?
No, I don't. And I'm never going to get one because...
She's been grinding. She's been focused on, she wants Meditite.
I do. His blue version is just so... Oh, I love it.
Well, the blue is the standard one. Are you talking about, but when it evolves, the Medicham is blue?
That's what I'm... Yeah.
Yeah, I got lucky as hell, and I caught a Shiny Meditite the other day, and then the next day, I caught another Shiny Meditite. So now I have one of each. I put it on Instagram, so I can actually have the whole evolution line in shiny form. So,
and what about you,
exciting.
Adam? What do you got, Adam?
I was on my way to work in the morning, and I just happened to stop. I clicked it because I'm just catching everything, and I just clicked on the Makuhita, and it was shiny. I was like, but it had like 99 CP, so it's like
CP doesn't even matter.
It doesn't matter.
Well,
at least
like
you
these
got
stats
shiny.
aren't good. Yeah, I know that, but like still. I know
if
like
it's
that's
not
the one that can't
100%,
evolve.
it's like it doesn't even matter.
Just throw it away at that point, right? I just know that I was at work and I just randomly I have my phone on, so I feel it buzzing, and I know that stuff's going on, but I'm dealing with customers and whatever, so I can't just play it all day. So then I walk over to my phone, I literally just tap it, and boom, Meditite shiny. I'm like, what?
You got one of each?
Yep.
I was kind of thinking, would I rather have one of each or, both of one? And I kind of went with being, I think I'd rather have both of one, so that way I could have the full line rather than half, you know? But I wanted Makuhita
Well, the event's
bad.
not done.
I know, I still got plenty
it.
of time. And this week has been rough. This week I haven't been able to play not nearly as much as I wanted to, just because we had a sleepover with Josh's friends this week. Now Josh is sick this weekend, and so we've had a rough go this past week. So I haven't been out much. I probably only got 5 or 6 raids in over the whole week, but I was able to get the right raids in because I got another EX pass
Oh
for
my
the 14th
God.
next Monday.
That's out of control. How
So
many
you
do
have
you
3
have
now, right?
This is, well, no, I have 2 in inventory right now. So I have 1 for tomorrow, Monday the 7th, and then 1 for Monday the 14th, the following week. So I've got them 4 out of the past 5 weeks.
That's cray.
Yeah, and it's been good. Now, well, let's jump into the EX raid conversation here, Co. So we'll jump ahead a little bit. So check this out. So in my area, in my immediate area, the S2 cell has the gyms that are capable of being EX gyms. There's a Sprint and one that's called Franklin Lake Gazebo. It's in a nice little park. The first couple Mewtwo's that we triggered were at Sprint, and that's where everyone focused on. But parking sucks. It's on the highway. It's not easy to get to. So we started focusing on Franklin Lake at the gazebo. And we had 3 Mewtwo's triggered there in a row. Now, this is the same S2 cell as the Sprint. So there's a second gym in that Franklin Lake Park that is a stone's throw from the gazebo. It's called the Tablet, right? So my whole squad decided that we were going to try to trigger this other gym in the same park. So what we did was, of course, if there's a legendary raid, either one, we're going to do it. But the level 1s, 2s, 3s, and 4s, where we would normally focus on the gazebo gym, we decided to focus on the Tablet gym. And just in doing that, we were able to trigger an EX raid at the Tablet gym for the first time. It's the first one ever.
What was the level of the raid that you guys did?
No, we did tons. We did tons there. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, we did a whole bunch. You have to trigger an EX raid, you have to have a significant amount of activity. And GoHub put an article together that explains how to trigger an EX raid. So there's a mathematical formula where you take the level of the raid itself versus how many trainers you have. That gives you a point system. You reach 500 points, and then it's eligible to trigger the EX raid. So you could do it through a whole bunch of combination of ways, but because my group is so concentrated in this area, even if it's a level 1 gym or a level 1 raid and we have, 10 or 12 people doing it, we're putting a lot of points into that gym in terms of EX eligibility. So, long story short, it triggers at this other gym. So what do? We then say, let's go back to focusing on the gazebo and see if we can trigger it next week back at the gazebo. And sure enough, the May 14th EX raid that I got is back at the gazebo.
That's crazy.
So we were able to really influence how the EX raid was triggered, and this goes to show you that you can manipulate the system if you know geographically how to stay within an S2 cell, and you have a squad that can be focused and kind of diligent and conditioned enough to focus on one gym, and you can get the stuff triggered. So if you got a solid group and you don't have EX raids in your area, open up OpenStreetMap, figure out where your S2 cells are. There's going to be up to 10 gyms that are EX eligible in every S2 cell. Now, identifying those gyms is tough because they're going to need a certain amount of activity. But if you could focus all that activity on one gym, you can have a really good chance at triggering it. So I'm living proof you can manipulate the system, and I'm psyched. This is going to be
Very interesting.
Yeah, so I'm pretty psyched that I got this. Got this one for next week because I didn't do much raiding this past week, but the ones I did were all at that gazebo gym, so that was the way I focused it. And it's like 5 minutes from my house, so it's exceptionally convenient. Now, on a little side note here, the one I have tomorrow, it's Monday at 5:30 in the evening, funky time. They're usually Saturday, Sunday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The one I have next week at the 14th is at Monday 1 p.m. What a weird time.
How are you
I'm on vacation that week, yo.
Oh, you lucky
So
duck.
I'm off that whole week
Lucky
leading up
duck.
to Community Day on the 19th. So I'm good to go. Hell
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, my EX raid tomorrow is 10:30 to 11:15.
That is crazy. Are you going to be able to make it?
Yes.
Oh, thank God.
Wow. Yeah, I was concerned about mine because of the time, but again, because we're so focused on Discord, we've already got 13 people confirmed. So, we're all good. I'm waiting for some other people to step up in 3-man this Mewtwo with me. Everyone's scared. No one wants to do it. No one wants to sink the Stardust into their Pokemon to level them up. Speaking of leveling up Pokemon, I randomly caught 100% Machop today.
What?
And it was the lowest freaking level ever. It was 200 CP. The arc was at 30%.
Oh, God.
And I spent 125 just to get it up to Machamp. And then I think after it was Machamp, 170 candy I spent on it and a couple 100,000 Stardust.
Oh, my gosh.
And I still need probably another 80,000 Stardust to spend, but I just don't have the candy. I mean, I'm still sitting at 2.9 million Stardust, but I have no more Machop candy.
Use some pineapple berries. I'm
I
sure
know,
there's some
dude.
sitting at your house.
I've got 90. I know. I've got 90 pineapples too. I've been stockpiling them, so
Oh my goodness.
so I'm ready to go. But I typically will pineapple every Machop every time. It's just that I happen to already invest in 3 other Machamps this past week as well. So that's why I'm all out of candy. So, because Adam, didn't you say you had over 1,000 Machop candy? Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. That's crazy.
Yeah, but that
I
means if you
just
catch
got
a good one,
1,000
you can instantly
Makuhitas.
get it, instantly up to a max level. That's great. I don't think I'm going to power up a Makuhita.
Why?
Not when I have so many Machamps.
I have a relatively high 96%, so that's good for me. Unless I get 100%.
I don't have a good one of either, so whatever.
Get good, son.
Whatever.
All right, let's inappropriately speculate here for a moment. This is sort of inappropriate, sort of legit. There was an Italian Pokemon Go newsletter goes out, and it hints towards Adventure Week coming back. And if we remember back last year, Adventure Week was a rock type event. They gave us the cool Indiana Jones hat in the store. And there was, I think, double Stardust and then the increased rock type spawns. So this is my inappropriate speculation for what's going to be coming after the Battle Showdown event ends on May 14th. Here's my bet. Mark my words. This will be May 15th. That's a Tuesday. So it'll be the day after Battle Showdown. The SmackDown move that they found in the APK will come out. They'll actually release it in game. Pokemon we catch in the wild will be able to earn it organically, and then we'll be able to TM it into other rock Pokemon that are existing. I don't care who it is, just want Tyranitar. I talked about that last week. New shinies, give me shiny Geodude, please. Please. I think now we can kind of follow the pattern that every time there's an event, they're going to tuck a shiny or 2 in, which I am A-okay with.
Yeah.
That's so fun. Increased spawns, of course. Research that's focused on rock types. I think that would be pretty cool. Avatar items, give me another dumb hat. Maybe they could do instead of a Indiana Jones, they could do a Steve Irwin kind of homage, like one of those. He had the Australian.
He didn't really wear a hat.
He wore a hat.
No, he didn't.
When he was in the sun. Rock raid bosses. I'm sure the Golem will always be there, but maybe they'll bring some different rock types into the mix and more boxes. So those are my guesses of everything that's going to happen. Anything you guys would want to see happen, or that's pretty much covers it, right?
As far as raid bosses, I think Kabutops and Omastar would come back, and Aerodactyl as well.
Yep.
Because that makes sense.
Aerodactyl was the poster child for the last Adventure Week, so they'll probably bring that back. That makes sense.
And I think, I mean, as far as the shiny goes, I think it would probably be something newer. Maybe a shiny Nosepass, maybe a shiny Lileep, or Anorith, or whatever.
Well, I kind of like the fossil angle too. So that would be cool. I mean, Anoriths are super rare in my area anyway.
I don't have one.
Lileep is exceptionally rare in my area. There's only one town in our area that I've ever seen Lileep spawn, and I've gone back to that town multiple times and caught Lileep in that town. Outside of that town, no freaking Lileeps, ever. Melissa's been walking her Lileep for
I hate
years.
it. I hate this little leap. I don't want to look at it anymore.
That's what I did with Anorith. I walked it so much, I think I only caught 2 Anorith, but then was able to evolve it just from walking. This is kind of official news because it was in the Italian newsletter, but hey, I'll believe it when I see it on PokemonGoLive.com. If it's all bullshit, don't say I didn't say. This could be bullshit.
Don't mark my words.
Mark my words by not marking my words that this might be
mark some of
bullshit.
them, not all of them.
No, but it's so crazy to say, but pretty much everything that leaks about this game comes true. There's really been nothing except the Kanto event when all the shinies came in. That was the only one that everyone, said, oh yeah, we're getting 100 shinies tomorrow, and then we didn't get shit. But other than that, if stuff leaks or comes out or is, stuff like this, it's typically right. So I'm assuming we're going to get an adventure week. Hey, you never know. They may wait till the day of and just be like, trainers, today at 1:00, this is happening. Like they did with Battle Showdown.
Maybe add some cool special research things.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like different research tasks or that focus on rock types or something like that. Kind of like how we have electric, going on right now.
Yargs.
All right, let's put our PokéScience lab coats on.
Ooh.
This is a fantastic article written on thesilphroad.com. I'm going to pull all the data here. Everything we're going to talk about is from their research. So thank you, Silph Road, for putting all this stuff in together, because there's some really great data here, and you're kind of paying attention to it now because of the increased rewards from the Battle Showdown event. Melissa is already staring 10 feet through the screen looking at the numbers. She's just like, what am I looking at? I have like a pie chart and a graph pulled up.
I see all the numbers and percentages, and then next to it I see all the pretty pictures of the items in the game. And I'm just going, picture.
No, let's look at this.
Yeah, I like that picture.
No.
Like that one.
Look, there's good
Especially the
data here.
Pokeball.
There's good data here.
Okay,
So,
give me the data.
all right, so when you spin a gym's photo disc and you get rewards, there's going to be a lot more stuff going on the back end than just spinning a Pokestop. When you just spin the Pokestop, outside of it being a new Pokestop for you or your 10th Pokestop, you're not going to get any additional items. It's just like a standalone thing. But when you're spinning a gym, there's going to be lots and lots of multipliers and things that are going to affect how many items get returned to you. Your gym badge, the team controlling it. Is it your 10th spin? Is it a streak? Did you complete a streak? Like Adam said, he did a 7-day streak by spinning a gym and was able to get 59 items. All these things are multipliers that if you actively manage it, you can really, really make out super well. And if you're starved for Pokestops or gyms, this could be a good idea to really maximize the way you restock. So check this out. Silph Road breaks the items down to different item groupings. Pokeballs, potions, revives, berries, and then evolution items. When you spin a gym, 51% of the time, 51.55% of the time, you're going to get Pokeballs. Now, it could be a breakout of Pokeballs, Great Balls, Ultra Balls, but overall, 51.5% of the time, it's going to be a ball of some type. Now, 42% of that is Pokeballs, so obviously there's a real heavy weighting on regular Pokeballs. Every time you spin, half your items are going to be balls. The potion category, 17% potions. So now we got 51.5% balls, 17.29% potions. Now we start dwindling down. Revives, 8.5%. Berries, between the three of them, look at this, 22% berries. This is why you end up with so many freaking nabs, because when you spin gyms, you get such a high return of berries. And then evolution items outside of the 7-day streak, it's a 0.06% of the time you'll get an evolution item. So that's, super rare.
Well, I've just been dumping my berries into the gyms to gain my, earn my gold.
Well, hell yeah, with the double XP towards the gyms, it's very timely to do that.
Yes.
So I've always wondered, and they've answered this question for me in this Silph Road article, of when you spin the gym and you see the items that have different color circles behind them, each different color represents something different. A gray circle is going to be your base reward. So that's going to be your normal organic items that you would get from spinning the gym. Anything in a yellow circle is going to be a gym badge bonus item. So this can be because of your first spin. It could be from your 7-day streak. But all these things are kind of tied into your gym badge level. So anything in yellow is going to fall into that category. And then you finally get blue, red, or golden. And the golden is stupidly close to yellow. These are going to be the ones for team control bonuses. So if your team is holding the gym and you spin it, you're going to get bonus items. So now you've got the base breakdown of how the items are released. You've got the modifiers and what they mean. And then they really dig into how you can manipulate this stuff to maximize the return. Now, what Adam did with lining up his 7-day streak with a gym spin is just one method. That's like the main thing you can do to maximize the return. But if you were really smart, and let's say you're out playing, at midnight or 11 o'clock at night, where you get your 10 spin bonus. So what the 10 spin bonus is, if you spin 10 Pokestops, unique Pokestops, within an hour, within any 1 hour period, you're going to get 2 times the base reward of items plus 1 team control item. So you're going to get up to 6 extra items just from the base reward plus an extra one from team control. So you can stack that on top of your badge bonus, on top of it being a first spin, or on top of it being a 7-day streak.
That's a lot of stuff.
All the shit is stackable. So
that's a lot of nuts.
So they put a hypothetical together here where outside of the Battle Showdown event, which is just giving stupid returns, 59 items on a 7-day streak, you can manipulate a normal 7-day streak. You could actually get like 40 items.
On any given day?
On any given day, so long as it's your 7-day streak and you have team control. You spin it on your 10th one. That's going to be the hard one, the 10 spin bonus. I ain't doing that shit because I ain't spinning gyms at night. So I'll take away a couple items there, but I'm still going to get 35 items.
Why is it got to be at night?
Well, because it has to be your 10th spin in your spin bonus, and you want it to be your first spin of the day. So you'd have to spin 9 in the hour leading up to midnight, and then as soon as your clock rolls over to midnight, it's going to be the next day. You've got to spin it so it's the first spin of the day. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. I would never do that. No, for real. Because
okay.
That's a little crazy. Yeah. But you can get.
So you're saying that you can only spin 9 stops during that day, and then when it rolls over, you do the 10th?
When it rolls over, you would do the 10th. It just doesn't even necessarily have to be 9 in the previous day. It has to be 9 within that hour. So if you started spinning at 11:05 p.m., you would have to spin your 10th stop before 12:05 a.m. Make sense? Between 12 o'clock and 12:05 to take advantage of that correctly. But so very nerdy, but this is pretty cool if you're starved for items. You can really master this system and take advantage of this. And I'm definitely going to be, tomorrow is my 7-day streak, so I'm going to be definitely stopping at a gym to do my first spin. And there's one Pokestop on the way to the gym, and it's like I gotta remember not to spin it or hit the Go Plus, because then it would like screw everything up. I'm like, no. But and then finally we talked about heir to Silph Road. Dromps, the creator of Silph Road, is a new daddy. Yay!
Aww.
Yay!
Congratulations, Dromps. That's really awesome. And he said what he's going to be doing is kind of chilling out, taking a step back, spend time with Mama Silph Road, Mrs. Dromps, and the new baby. He posted an absolutely ridiculous picture of the baby on Silph Road. This is something I really, really like. He puts this thing in the letter saying a personal request. And I'm going to read this because it's pretty powerful. It says, "Our culture here on the road is, to me, one of the main reasons the Silph Road team continues to volunteer time and resources to grow and foster our forum, resources, and community. Early on, we made the decision to make our community a different type of gaming community from the ones we all commonly see. We decided to commit to fighting the difficult uphill battle to create and foster a community of accurate information and friendly help. We don't always prevail," looking at, and in parentheses it says, "looking at you, early EX raids," that's when everyone was so rottenly salty, "but we never give up. Every week for over 2 years now, I've personally spent a great deal of time each week working to keep the road a welcoming resource for Go enthusiasts of all skill levels to come and learn. And then he goes on to say he's leaving it in the capable hands of the other executives that are on the site. And then he goes, I'd like to make one personal request. While my focus is drawn elsewhere for a bit, I'm calling on all our travelers to please help the Silph Road team and our mod team to foster the type of culture the road aims for, one of friendly help and a more valuable discussion. Help answer honest questions, help counter excessive downvoting with your upvotes, share useful resources, and report rudeness and elitism on the subreddit to the mod team so we can show those visitors the door. Hundreds of new travelers discover us for the first time every day. There's no place for elitism and the belittlement of the road. Preach on, Dropes! Yeah! That's what I'm talking about. This is exactly...
Wow, that's pretty powerful.
It's amazing. This is exactly the difference between a lot of the hostility and negativity that you're seeing on a daily basis on Twitter. And you know that if you come to the Silph Road, you are having a safe refuge to go to interact with like-minded trainers that are not going to be susceptible to the bullshit and not be susceptible to the just negativity and outcry and anger and vitriol and stuff that goes along with other forms of social media. So I really thought this was pretty powerful. And the fact that he's saying, I'm asking you to do this, and oh yeah, by the way, I'm not even going to be on the site for a couple weeks because I just had a baby, is absolutely amazing because it shows the faith he has in his team, the faith he has in the community. And when I hear stuff like this, especially coming from someone that's, has such a heavily influence like Dromps, this is such an amazing thing. And this is what I know when I created Gotta Watch Them All, this was what the vision I had, this vibe, this feeling, this type of culture of being positive, being friendly, and being kind. This is what it's all about. Now we have Melissa here, who's already laughing at me because I'm over here like,
because
waving
I
a
do
flag.
No, because
I know you do
too. I do too. It's just
that's
just me.
No, but that's the fun of it all. We do it in good spirit, so it's pretty powerful. And I really like that, and that's definitely the vibe that we want to encourage with our community. So let us know how you feel about this. Is it too much of a fireworks and flag waving kind of, patriotic for the world of Pokemon Go? Is it over the top to ask of this? I kind of dig it, A to Z, soup to nuts. This is my vibe in a nutshell. So I really connected with this sentiment a lot. But let us know how you feel about it because, yeah, we get pretty salty and we get pretty animated, especially Melissa.
No.
But it is all in good fun. Now,
yeah, I love this, and it's like we're all parents, so like we understand what he's going through.
Sure.
It's a lot,
and this can lead into the next thing I wanted to talk about, and this is the continuation of the Jonno Plays conversation.
The internet's getting ready.
She's foaming at the mouth now.
We're rolling up her
No,
sleeves.
look, we've gone on and on about Jonno and how even when we had Kyler on last week, he talked about the spoofing community in general. For the most part, what you see of it on social media, especially Twitter, is vile, hate, nasty, it's bad stuff. It's not friendly. It's not kind. It goes against what Dromps is asking about for the Silph Road because people have those keyboard muscles on Twitter where they could just, let it fly. It's not self-governed like the road is. So Jonno set his sights on Mystic 7 pretty hard and just started attacking him with BS and random just negative crap. All his fans piled on Mystic, and Mystic 7, I gotta give him props, made the absolute perfect response to all this. Adam, have you seen this video?
Yes.
Right, I'll link to it in the description. He makes like a reaction video to when Jonno was doing one of his streams, spoofing his ass off, and starts talking all this shit about Mystic 7. Mystic 7 put up a post saying, oh, there was a glitch, in the YouTube matrix and I lost a lot of followers overnight. This stuff happens all the time. Reversal has talked about it. Nick from Trainer Tips has talked about it. Anyone that's a YouTuber has talked about it, where you could just pick up followers, lose followers like it's nuts. But it could be significant in the thousands. So Jonno takes this as an opportunity to say, oh, that's because Mystic 7 buys all his followers. He just, buys some offshore, click farm to just fake follow him and do all this shit. So YouTube caught up with him and found out about it, so they deleted all of them, and just goes on speaking as if he was reading fact. And his followers are like, yeah, like they're just super into it. So Mystic 7 video is so great because he just pretty much calls him out on all the bullshit. And it's really good to see, because we were talking about how some of these big tubers, they don't necessarily address the bullshit. Like when FSU kind of was the big deal, they talked about him for a little while, and then they didn't even want to mention his name because they didn't want to give him any publicity. So it became Voldemort, no one wanted to say it, so it was cool to see Mystic 7 really step up and, let Jonno have it. And he even says at the end of the video and in the description, he goes, look, this is all in good fun. I don't want you guys going over there and giving him a bunch of shit. It's all in good fun. Jonno, whatever, we're cool. Whatever you need to do, bro. So you took the high road, which I thought I appreciated that. I was like, he could have handled it any other way. The dude's like, a 19-year-old, machismo dude that drives a Mustang. He could have been like,
Machismo.
We're doing this, Look, I think taking the high road on it was great. And the fact that he made this video was highly entertaining. Now.
Yes. I was laughing so hard throughout the whole thing.
But
he paused it a few times when Jonno's like, yeah, he's hot.
Shit, dude. He's like, is that what this is about,
He
Jonno?
just kept going, is that how you really feel? Tell me how you really feel.
This brings up an interesting topic, and it has to do with journalistic integrity, professionalism, and then still having fun and letting the internet loose like Melissa. So now I think that you can still be exceptionally critical, just like Melissa is, of spoofers or spoofing or Jonno or someone in particular or Brandon Tan, and even be animated and use, speak like a truck driving sailor. But what? That's you. You can speak like a truck driving sailor about it, but you still retain your journalistic integrity and professionalism because it's all in the guise of entertainment and having fun about it. Now, I know for a fact that you don't wish any ill will, like real ill will on these people.
No.
This is just, a commentary of a situation. When it comes to Jonno, I just feel like he's not doing it just for journalism.
Like
or
he truly
wishes, he's just
he's just a truly salty,
just a shit talker. Like to the point where it's like,
maybe
dude,
he's one of those kids who really needs his ass beat, he's always need his ass beat in life, and he's never got it handed to him, and now he's behind the keyboard. And
well, you see, this is what I'm talking about with maintaining journalistic integrity, saying he needs to get his ass beat. No, I totally know what you're saying, because I've used that analogy on people plenty of times in my life. But
to see some of the stuff that he's responding to, and just basically be slapping other people in the face, you're just a pawn in the game. I'm like, we follow those people.
Yeah, exactly.
That's so mean.
Even the way he goes after other
YouTubers.
And we kind of, saw this where PokéGirl7 had posted a tweet in support of Jonno. She's a huge Jonno fan. So all the anti-Jonno people started attacking on PokéGirl, and she's like, what the fuck? I'm just trying to support the guy. And everyone's like, exactly, that's why we're giving you shit. We don't like this guy. And it went back and forth, and then other YouTubers would step in. And these are smaller scale YouTubers, but they do have a voice in the community. And then Jonno would start attacking them. And it's like, what the fuck? It's like this never-ending pile of dog shit.
See, and this is why you will never find me on the twits.
Well,
because twits,
you're better
twits.
off. No, you're better off, because I'm
twits.
telling you, it is hard to steer clear of the bullshit on Twitter, because
because it just shows up in your feed, and you're like, are you kidding me? Did I really?
But not
need
for
to see
nothing,
that?
it's fully entertaining, and I enjoy it very much, because it's just funny seeing the way people reply, because they got the keyboard muscles, so they can just let it all hang out. Zero accountability.
Yeah, I think Mystic. well, then PokéGirl7, she was she had said something in one of her tweets where it was I guess some bigger YouTubers don't want to work with her because she supports Jonno.
Hey, that's I can't.
It is what it is.
Look, I'm not going to knock her hustle, but like Melissa just said, it is what it is. You got to, choose.
Stand behind what you
are the company you keep.
Yeah, man. Like,
yeah.
I can't help the way I feel. You either like me, love me, or hate me.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
No,
either love me or hate me. I don't know.
Well, I don't know if we could live without the internet, personally.
Yeah, I can't. No, but Jonno is really making a name for himself through all of this. So, from his brand perspective,
he's just being corny though. Like, but that just really shows you his. It just shows his lack of intelligence and his lack and his desperation.
Well, that's
to be honest.
He
like,
has none of that integrity.
He needs that drama in order to fuel his channel because his channel lacks substance.
Yes.
So so if you're gonna be a YouTuber,
yeah, like I can't sit there and watch.
Sit there and you're gonna argue with him, then you know what? You kind of deserve to be in that drama bullshit with him because if you're going to play into it, then play into it. If not, just be like, all right, cool, bro. And just drop the conversation and boop, turn the page. That's how you don't get involved with
the internet doesn't let go. Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Right.
The internet remembers too.
Watch. Turn the page. Boop.
All right.
Yeah, but it's like I just couldn't sit there and like, I don't know. It was a video that just flew into my feed and it's like, I just watched him like spoofing around. I'm like, I don't understand. Like, why am I watching this? And he's just like telling everybody, yeah, just spoof here. So if you were legitimately in this park that he was in, like any of those people that were spoofing there could have just taken the gym from you, and there's nobody around you.
Well,
that's what I mean? Like that feeling.
That's when they say, "Oh, this doesn't affect anyone else." It's like, well, yeah, this is
the
how
person who's really outside
playing. That's what I mean. That's
game.
how it really affects them.
It's like if I was there at that, wherever, like someplace, there's nobody here. I'm gonna take this gym because there's nobody here. The gym goes down, and then all of a sudden somebody else takes it, or like you get your Pokemon in, and instantly it gets taken over, and there's 6 Pokemon in a gym. Like
and you're
would affect
standing
me.
in the middle of the road,
pissed.
spinning around in a circle, going, "Where are you?"
Like John Travolta.
Where are
like
you?
that John Travolta.
Why?
No, but that's when they say that this is a victimless thing. It's not victimless. You're affecting the gameplay of others. So, whatever. I don't want to harp on Jonno too much, but I do want to harp on Reversal a little bit. Now look. I love Reversal. I'm a big Reversal fan. We had a Twitter interaction I want to call out here. Maybe I was in the wrong. I don't think I was, but I'm an asshole, so you never know. So check this out. So he puts up this tweet, and every so often Reversal will spit out a tweet that's not Pogo related. So it'll be something about culture or this and that or salt, whatever. So he puts out this tweet. YouTubers promoting a service that allows for students to pay for essays to cheat at school or university is just morally wrong. I genuinely don't get why YouTube's 2018 has gotten to this level of ridiculousness. Absolutely disgraceful, right? So then I comment, what about paying for Pogo services? You should come on the Lured Up podcast to discuss, because he's talking about people selling YouTube services to cheat on tests. I'm talking about people selling YouTube services and things through the game to cheat on the game.
Okay.
So he responds, the fact that you shifted a real life issue into a Pokemon Go related thing does not make me want to come on. Sorry. Okay. I get it. Whatever. I'm not yet thinking this is a prima donna situation. I'm just thinking like, all right, whatever, bro.
I am.
Of course you are. But so then I write back and I make a joke, and this might have been what pissed him off. He goes, because he had said the fact that you shifted a real life issue into Pokemon Go. I wrote, Pokemon Go is life. And I wrote, honestly, I understand your position. Would love to have you on, though. I think our listeners would love to get your take on many of the topics that we have been covering. That's pretty legit.
Yeah.
I'm just, you can't knock the hustle. I'm just pushing forward, trying to get our name out, trying to connect. So he writes back, had you asked me this on a Pokemon Go related tweet, I might have considered, but I feel it's sort of insensitive to just continue pushing me coming on after my first response. I'm not interested, sorry. So
Oh my god.
That was your
Oh my
second
god.
tweet.
Oh my god.
Look,
pushing-
oh my god.
so wait,
oh my god.
So for
I
me,
can't.
stop.
I
Look,
can't.
wait.
I
Hold her
can't.
back. So look, I'm physically holding her back. So I didn't realize that I was continuing to push him or be insensitive by saying, "Hey, would love to have you on though,"
Oh, the baby.
and give him a reason. So I reply again, and I wrote, "Understood. We've reached out before and hadn't heard back. So I wanted to address the fact that he said, had you asked me this in a Pokemon Go related tweet, I might have considered." So I've done that before. I've reached out to all the YouTubers, Dark Matter Wolf, DX1, Holly, Trainer Tips, Mystic 7, like all of them. I reach all, I want to start having YouTubers on. I would like to get, more YouTubers like Kyler, or Ludo, who had just found. There's a lot of YouTubers out there that are making great content. But I've always reached out to the larger tubers and said, "Yo, like, let's, this is what we're doing. I would love to have you on." So I have done that with Reversal and never heard back. So I wrote, "Understood. We've reached out before and hadn't heard back. All good, brother. Meant no malice. Our community is just trying to find where many Pogo YouTubers stand on issues like," and I tag him, "COC Brandon Tan, offering pay-to-play services." And I put my name, Ken. So I'm trying to plead my case here of, look, dude, I'm not trying to swing your conversation to something completely different. I'm saying this is a related topic where people are profiting off of bullshit, and you're a Pogo YouTuber, so sorry about talking about Pokemon Go, but he shut it down. So we had some tweets going back and forth with our fans. Chris Pidgeotto, chimed in and said, "Lured Up is great. It's sad Reversal took this comment badly." And he says this perfectly. He says, "When I read the tweet about paying for others to write your papers, I immediately thought of paying others to catch Pokemon, parentheses Brandon Tan. It's the elephant in the room that no one is discussing." Chris, preach
You
on.
rock, bro.
That's what I'm talking
You
about.
rock, bro.
Yeah. I was like, are you kidding me? That's
Well, that's
awesome.
exactly
Thank God
what
he
I'm
said
talking
it
about.
because and this is why I'm glad I'm not on Twitter, because I would have blew the fuck up and said what Chris said nicely in a Melissa way. And
Look, this
it would have ruined
Nicely
it would
in
have
a
ruined
Melissa way.
any opportunity
I don't know
you
if
may
that-
have had.
Well, that's why you
did
can't
good,
be on
Ken.
Twitter.
You
think
did good.
I know. Like,
you
I
did
thought
good
I kept it
because
clean. I
yeah,
kept
like
it
you
cool.
left it open where like he could potentially not be a jerk and and realize that he was being a little baby, a little bit. Like you're being a baby, honestly, a little bit, because Ken.
No, but look, it is the elephant in the room. It is a topic that I don't know why people are so scared to talk about. It's like, do they really think this Brandon Tan guy is that at the center of the universe, where if they talk about his...
Who cares about that guy?
Well, obviously they do if they don't want to talk about it.
If we don't talk about him, if we talk about him, is our game going to change? No.
Look,
Are you going to get less YouTube?
It's a community-based thing. That's the thing. They do need to think about that kind of stuff because people are loyal. That's like,
yeah,
people
but
say,
the people that are loyal watching them are not paying Brandon Tan.
I know. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.
It is the elephant in the room.
He was being a baby.
And
like, honestly, I just got to say. Why did he have to react like that? Like, what is he always like that?
I don't know the dude. I met him once for
like
3
on his
seconds.
tweets. Like,
No,
does
but
he
he
get like that?
sometimes he does. Sometimes he does get like that. I've heard
So
other
corny.
people.
Had you asked me this on a Pokemon Go related tweet, what the fuck, bro?
Is
You
that
are
your
a
reversal?
Pokemon.
Is
You're
that
a
your reversal
Pokemon.
impression?
No, that's my disgust voice. Like you're a Pokemon.
Ken, you do a
Go.
reversal.
No.
Like the only reason why you're relevant is because of Pokemon Go. So sorry, we fucking asked a question about Pokemon Go when you're saying something about life. Like
It's all good. I just want to know what the community feels about this.
we still want to talk to you, Reversal.
That's what I'm
We still
saying.
love
I
to have
still
you.
want to
I'll
talk
be nice.
about
I
it.
promise. I am a cool girl. I swear.
We'll have to give Melissa lots of
She is.
Xanax.
I find out a couple
No.
times.
No, I'm cool.
All
I
right.
promise.
Couple miscellaneous news bits I do want to talk about. The 52nd Nest migration did happen on May 3rd, so get onto the Silph Road Nest Atlas and update that.
So that's why all my whale
There
almost
you
disappeared.
go. It was a rotation.
I wasn't just the event.
Start prepping for Community Day, Saturday, May 19th. We'll have another episode before Community Day. You may want to start thinking about that now. The 0.101.0 update that we talked about last week is now a forced update. This is good news. This means that there's going to be some kind of server-side update coming soon. My guess is this is going to be tied to Adventure Week, and now they're going to force everyone to update, so that way when they implement the new move, everyone will be on the same platform. YouTubers have organized the Texas Pokefest. This is a really cool thing that these bigger tubers are doing, where they're picking locations for Community Day and other things like that, but they're traveling from all over the country to these events and holding some really nice meet and greets. And the one that they just did in where the hell was Holly? Vegas was amazing, and it was actually Niantic actually got on board, and they had like team lounges and contests and giveaways, and there was a food drive. Like it looked like an amazing event, and they're kind of making this like a monthly thing. So really cool what they're doing. But if you're in the Texas area, you should check that out. Dr. Pogo, who we talked about last week, who his name is Mike Schmid, who had the conversation with John Henke on the airplane in San Francisco that broke all that news. I have been in contact with him, and he will be on the show next week.
So cool.
Yes, so we're trying to figure out how we're going to do this. Mike is a hardcore Pokemon Go player. He's not a podcaster, so he doesn't have the equipment that we have, readily available to record and do all that stuff. So we're going to have to get creative and figure out a way to get him live on the show. We may end up doing his segment on Google through Google Hangout or something like that. So that way I could rip the audio and just mesh it in to our, normal local recordings that we record here for the podcast. But Dr. Pogo is going to be coming on. We'll be able to hear directly from the source what it was like talking to John Henke. Really excited about that. All right, let's get to the tail end of our show. Our favorite segment,
Hitmonlee solo raid guide.
And what? And Battle Party. Ooh, ooh, Battle Party. Ooh, ooh. All right, Hitmonlee solo raid guide. Now, I've really enjoyed doing solo raids lately. The tier, now that my Pokemon are like pretty stacked, tier 3 raids are just at the cusp of being, a little bit easy, sort of. I have not done a Hitmonlee yet, but I hear that he is kind of challenging. But what I like about Hitmonlee, just like Machamp, is it calls for some really cool and unique opportunities to bring out Pokemon that may not have a place in the other raid meta across different types. So here's the breakdown. Tier 3 fighting type, so it will be boosted in cloudy weather. It is weak to Psychic, Flying, and Fairy. Now this is what makes for some cool dual type counters, because you're going to have some Psychic Flying counters, you're going to have some Psychic Fairy counters, so you're going to have Pokemon that you could use against it that will be able to benefit not just from Stab, but also from super effective weakness. And when you pair those together, that's when you're going to be able to have a better chance at being able to solo this thing. The raid boss CP is 19,679. 100% catch, level 20 is 1,375, and boosted at level 25, 1,718. So again, those ones you want to think about when you're catching, level 20, 1,375 CP, level 25, 1,718 CP. The moveset you're going to want to look out for from Hitmonlee is going to be Rock Smash and Low Sweep. The best counters are going to be Mewtwo, Rayquaza, Lugia, Gardevoir, Espeon, and Alakazam. Now, Mewtwo, Glass Cannon, but can put out some high DPS if you have it powered up and you run a dual Psychic type moveset like Confusion Psychic. Rayquaza, Dragon Flying Pokemon, but you could spec it out with flying moves, Air Slash and Aerial Ace, still get stab, still get super effective damage. You're going to be putting out 40% plus damage because you're going to get those bonuses together. They stack. Lugia, Psychic Flying, again, another dual type that will benefit from a split move type set. So you can run Extrasensory, which is a Psychic type, and Sky Attack, which is a flying type, and you're still getting stab on both and super effective damage from the weakness on both, which is awesome. Same thing with Gardevoir, a Psychic Fairy type. Confusion, Dazzling Gleam. Even though you're running a Confusion, which is a Psychic move, and Dazzling Gleam is a Fairy move, you're still getting both bonuses stacked on top of each other. This is a great opportunity to use Espeon. I only have one Espeon.
Me too.
The original one I did through the naming trick. I've never walked an Eevee and then done an evolution, so I have a decent Espeon. When it gets to my party, I don't think I'm going to bring it. But Espeon with Confusion, Future Sight is going to be good. And Alakazam, Confusion, Future Sight is solid. And, Alakazam's been relevant in the meta for a long time, so a lot of people should have an Alakazam with that moveset. Some budget counters are also going to be Wigglytuff, Ho-Oh, Metagross, Exeggutor. Again, opportunities to use some fairy-type moves, which is, uncommon in the game. So if you're looking for diversity, now's your chance.
I know Banette can use Dazzling Gleam, so, that's a cool counter, too.
But if you're trying to solo it, the thing is you're going to need beefy Pokemon that can be tanks within their own right to be able to handle, some fighting-type charge moves. So this is what I'm going to bring.
Oh, yeah.
Now, if you have a group, you can get more creative than this. But from a solo perspective, this is what I would bring. I've got a 93% Rayquaza with Air/Aerial Ace. So I think this is going to give me good reason now to spec out one of my Rayquazas with air moves. So that way I can have my Dragon Tail Outrage, and then I can have one with Air/Aerial Ace. I have an 89% Lugia, Extrasensory Sky Attack. Since they buffed Sky Attack, I have not really even used that move in a raid, so might as well now. 98% Gardevoir, Confusion, and Dazzling Gleam. I've got a 96% Alakazam, Confusion, Future Sight. I got to bring my 98% Mewtwo, and I'm actually going to go with Exeggutor. This was one of my budget counters, so even though it's Psychic Grass, you're still going to get that stab and stuff with Extrasensory and Confusion. So, Rayquaza, Lugia, Gardevoir, Alakazam, Mewtwo, Exeggutor. This is a pretty stacked lineup, but these aren't Pokemon that I would typically use together in any other scenario besides fighting type. So that's a cool thing to have that kind of diversity. Adam, what do you got?
I'm going to take my 100% Alakazam with Confusion Future Sight, my 100% Lugia with Extrasensory and Future Sight. I do have 2 Espeons, and I would use them because they are the best counters that I have, essentially, to be able to one-man this or solo it, and both with Confusion and Future Sight. I am going to whip out my Rayquaza with Air/and Aerial Ace, and my Ho-Oh with Extrasensory and Brave Bird.
Oh, yeah, Brave Bird on Ho-Oh. Good call. See, that's cool. So you got some diversity in there. So you actually walked an Eevee? Wow.
Yes. I walked multiple. I have 2 Espeon, 2 Umbreon.
Wow.
That's cool.
I've never been that committed. I'm back to walking Snorlax. Need them candies.
Laxy.
Melissa, let me guess. You're bringing a Snorlax.
No.
Yes.
I'm bringing Lugia and Espeon and my Mewtwo and a Gramble because I have a good Gramble and my Togetic. Is that how you say it?
Togetic.
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 Togepi.
Yes.
Togetic.
That one. And Snorlax.
I knew it, see?
I mean, at least bring a Blissey.
I only have one Blissey, and it's Kaka.
So, you can still teach it Dazzling Gleam.
I guess. I do have 1,000,000,001 TMs.
I've heard that Granbull is pretty tanky, and I've never used him in a battle.
He's a pink doggy. I gotta use him.
I know, but someone else said that they were using a Granbull. I don't know who they were using it against, but they were like, holy shit, this thing's actually holding up. So we got some diverse lineups here between the three of us. I think Gardevoir is a Pokemon that I really like that I don't use often. My Exeggutor is typically used when I'm fighting water Pokemon, so this is cool that I can use it from a psychic perspective. And, my Lugia I just don't use. So it's cool that I can actually get these Pokemon out and use them. I didn't think about Ho-Oh, Adam. That's a good call.
Yeah, I really like Ho-Oh.
I do the same thing.
Well, it's just like I don't use it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And this is it's another legendary bird, and it's got a different moveset. I like it.
Awesome. That's pretty much going to wrap up the show for today. Adam, you got anything else?
No, just keep hunting for those shinies,
Yeah.
guys. You're gonna get one.
Except me. I'm not gonna get a fighting shiny. Ever.
Not with that attitude.
Exactly.
Melissa, you got anything else? You were pretty well behaved today.
I was.
She knows because look, she knows I like reversal. That's why
I like reversal
she's
too.
held- she's
I don't
held-
want to put his panties in more of a bunch than they already are.
I know. So thank you for being reserved.
I try.
I appreciate it.
He's still never going to come on, so there's probably no reason for me to have been reserved. He's probably one of those people that is.
We'll
just
see.
like,
I'll buy him
once
some
he's
Stroop
tainted.
waffle.
Oh my
See if it helps. No, but that's pretty much going to wrap everything up. Hey, look, check out GottaWatchTheMall.com. I spent the entire day building it the other day.
It looks amazing.
The other day, I'm really
Yeah, it's
happy with
beautiful,
how it came
guys.
out.
Go check it out.
Here, let's do this quick story real quick. So we had an existing website, right? We go through GoDaddy. So the web builder's through GoDaddy. I had the whole thing built, the homepage at least. I had the homepage built, but it was small, but it was complete. So I talked to GoDaddy. They're like, hey, you can upgrade your system to this new platform, which is bigger and better. And don't worry, we can migrate your old site over, no problem. Well, sure as shit, that wasn't true. And they migrated over, and all of a sudden there's a blank website that's just attached to the domain. And I'm like, well, shit.
Cool.
I guess I got to build the whole site from scratch again. So I put my blinders on the other day, and
You sure did.
I just grinded the whole thing out in one day. So we've got a website now, GottaWatchTheMall.com. Also, LuredUp.com will now point to that website as well. So you can check us out there. But it now has a direct feed to our RSS for both shows. So you can listen to every single episode of both of our podcasts on the website as well. So that's up there now. And then you can also get links to all of our other YouTube stuff that we're doing, whether it's Adam's vlogs or streams or anything, whatever else we're doing, you can link to it from that site. Check out GottaWatchTheMall.com. We would appreciate it. Also, check out our Patreon, patreon.com/GottaWatchTheMall. I want to give a shout out to Terry Wolf, who subscribes and supports us at the $5 level. That earns him a shout out on every show. Terry Wolf, thank you so much. We appreciate you very much. Yeah, check us out on social media. We're at Gotta Watch 'Em All everywhere. YouTube, Twitter,
Internet,
Facebook,
Yeah.
Instagram,
websites,
all that stuff. Check us out. We really appreciate it. Adam, where can they find you on the internet?
You can find me at Phoenix Back for Fire on Twitter and Instagram.
I am Proud Gamer Tweet on Twitter, which I barely use anymore because I'm just tied up on the Gotta Watch 'Em All stuff.
It's like all our focus is just on Gotta Watch 'Em All.
It's tough.
It's so
tough.
weird.
And Melissa is at she's not on the internet.com.
But she is the
I
internet.
am the
so
internet.
She's
so
providing
find
our
me
service.
everywhere.
It's going to be dot Melissa. Internet.Melissa. That's where she is. She's got her own domain, her own internet domain. But no, thanks so much for checking us out. Yeah, if you want to hear more about Pokemon, check out our full featured show, full format show, Gotta Watch 'Em All. We talk about the card game, the anime, plushes, pins, toys. Check that out as well. But thanks, everyone. We'll see everyone next week, right?
Yeah.
Peace out. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Bye-bye, friends.